NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte stated that there are possible threats to Moldova from Russia. According to him, the Kremlin is concerned that Moldova is following a different path. During a conversation with journalists in Brussels, Rutte noted that he has the utmost respect for Moldovan leader Maia Sandu. He drew attention to the fact that the country is in a difficult situation, but is nevertheless actively cooperating with the European Union. The Secretary General of the alliance also commented on the interview of the appointed Russian ambassador Oleg Ozerov, in which he indirectly threatened Moldova because of the country's pro-European course. Rutte urged Moldova not to be naive regarding Russia. Meanwhile, the Moldovan government is predicting gas problems in the unrecognized Transnistria region. As stated by Deputy Prime Minister for Reintegration Valeriu Chiver, Tiraspol will continue to suffer from uncertainty regarding gas supplies until it switches from the Russian scheme to the one proposed by Chisinau. He also emphasized that without Tiraspol's consent, the problem cannot be solved by supplying coal from Ukraine for the operation of the Moldovan GRES power plant. It is worth noting that on February 11th, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky held talks with Moldovan Prime Minister Alexandru Munteanu. According to a report provided by Ukraine's Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal, the countries placed a significant focus on deepening integration between the transmission system operators Ukrenergo and Moldelectrica. Later, Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed to the media that during his conversation with the Prime Minister of Moldova, the Ukrainian side offered to supply coal to the power plant in the unrecognized Transnistria and is awaiting a response from the Moldovan side.
The Wall Street Journal has published an article that is already being called sensational. It describes how, during NATO military exercises in Estonia in May 2025, Ukrainian soldiers invited to play the role of a simulated enemy managed to virtually defeat 2 alliance battalions in just half a day. Now, the 412th Nemesis Brigade and the 427th Rarak Brigade, which are part of the Unmanned Systems Forces, have shared new details about how exactly the Ukrainian drone operators managed to achieve such a result. In one of the exercise scenarios, a multi-thousand-strong NATO combat group was advancing while on the opposing side a Ukrainian team of UAV crews was operating. A participant in the exercise, a fighter from the 412th Brigade with the call sign Nick, recalls,
"We carried out missions to strike and destroy the forces of the simulated enemy, mined logistical routes, and delivered various supplies to friendly units. The enemy was detected by the aerial reconnaissance crew using the vector system. The Ukrainian team crushed the advancing groups, which were unprepared for mass strikes from various UAV systems."
According to the fighter, the Ukrainians had their freedom of action partially restricted. They were ordered to drop munitions not directly on the target, but nearby so that nothing would fall on anyone's head. The destruction of 2 battalions, as claimed by the Ukrainian drone operators, was the result of a series of mistakes made by the European units. The equipment moved in large columns without proper camouflage, the infantry did not take cover when UAVs appeared, and the roads were not checked for mines in advance.
The exercises showed that the realities of modern warfare dictate new rules, for which our partners are not quite prepared. The tactic of mechanized assaults with large amounts of equipment is no longer relevant, and everyone on the battlefield must understand that the main threat now comes from the sky.
The Wall Street Journal's article about the maneuvers in Estonia is yet another indication that NATO may not be prepared for modern warfare against an equal adversary. In the US, they still claim that the dominance of drones in Ukraine is merely a result of artillery shortages and that the American army can manage without their widespread use. At the same time, during exercises, armored vehicles still operate without any special protection against UAVs. In theory, the threat from FPV drones does not exist.